Today is the day.
That's right.
Elevate surprise from Techify. Now this was crazy getting to this day because there were so many schedules that were flip-flopping because Donnell had a basketball game scheduled for that day and then that got rescheduled and then
canceled eventually.
Yeah, and then fortunately Frank was super flexible on it and he made sure that he was going to get in there in time to get everything set up.
Yeah.
So what it required was Frank going early in the morning before kids even go to school, so it could be a time when kids kind of pass through the offices.
Yeah.
So Frank was going to meet Paul during that time and make sure, hey, even if some kids might have seen it, we got to make sure Donnell doesn't see it.
It's still a secret.
Yeah, so they get in there and Frank connects with Paul and then they change the location. They changed the room. Frank just did it on his own, but it was for a really good reason.
So the original plan was that they were going to set this TV stand and all of this stuff up in the garage or the warehouse. But then once Frank got in there, he realized, okay, the conference room is a great spot for this so that it doesn't have to just be used by the kids, but the actual mentors can use it at Elevate for meetings or anything like that that they might need. And it's just the perfect place. It looks awesome in there and it looks like it was meant to be in there all along.
Frank and Techify were able to create this system in their own warehouse and prepare it and then bring it over. And one thing that Frank wanted to do was kind of use something that can be used all around the Elevate offices. So something you can literally wheel in and bring it in one room. And if at some point you want to take it somewhere else, you could take it somewhere else. But he explained all of this to Paul and told him all the functions and all the capabilities, and Paul was excited about it.
I'm really happy to present this AV cart for the organization. We're really excited to show you some of the cool things it can do.
Right on.
Okay, so we went ahead and installed a actual PC in this system. This computer allows us to, support PowerPoint or any presentations that you guys may have. Nice Logitech conference camera here. You got a wireless keyboard and mouse, the full Xbox gaming system here. We got 4 controllers, and then from there you have access to all your online streaming services. This cart kind of supports just about anything you want to do with it.
Can you film music videos on it?
Ah.
I think I speak for our entire organization when I say, man, we appreciate you.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm just so happy you guys can use this.
Oh, yeah.
Late morning, Frank and Techify have completed the setup, and now all we have to do is get Donnell there. Now, this was Paul's job. This was Paul Tabron Jr.'s job, and he succeeded, but it was stressful for him. It was not easy. Jordan Bader, who's the chair of the Elevate board, he told him he had a fever.
They were supposed to have, he had planned coffee with Donnell earlier in the day because that's what we needed to make sure he had time blocked out. And then he canceled on him and said, I think I have a fever, I'm sorry.
And then in addition to that, so the way Paul got him there is Paul told him like, hey man, I really need to meet with you.
Yeah.
And so Donnell's whole thing was, well, why can't we just talk on the phone?
We talk?
Why can't we just, I don't have to come. And Paul said, no, I need you to come to the office. I need you to be here, And so Donnell is already on like high alert coming in. And then this was the capper. When Donnell got to the offices, Paul was waiting at the door for him, which he never does apparently. So Donnell, his whole walk from coming in.
And Donnell thought, let's go in my office. And Paul's like, no,
let's go to the conference room.
We gotta go in the conference room.
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said.
I want to curse right now.
Come on.
What are you doing, man?
We got the surprise for you, man. We got the surprise for you from Techify, man. They wanted
What are you doing?
They wanted to hook it up for the Elevate family. They wanted to hook this whole thing up. So it's the TV with the Xbox system, with the camera, so when you do your conference calls. Yeah, man. Hey, come on, man. Hey, man, they love Elevate, man.
Come on, man.
I ain't got a fever. I got no COVID.
You got COVID, man.
I'm like, hey, I'm thinking he about to quit, man. I'm like, all I'm thinking about is, okay, I'm gonna have to do the big elementary. I'm just thinking about work, man. Like, I'm like, he's sick, he's about to quit. He's waiting for me at the door.
Yeah, this is
I didn't see him. He's wearing all black. I walked in and like, that's a nice shirt. I'm like, oh man, he's about to quit.
They put me up to it.
Yeah. It's on us. Don't be mad at him. Be mad at me. Be mad at us. So this is the group that we're working with on our home build, home automation group.
Okay.
Great company led by an awesome dude. His name's Frank and his wife Naven. So then we were able to express that this is the surprise from Frank and Techify. That's yours.
Yeah.
It's yours.
That whole setup.
It's yours. It's
yours.
It's yours, man. Yeah.
Set it
I would
up.
like to thank him personally.
Yeah.
That would be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it.
Well, he wouldn't even need it, man. He just wanted you guys to enjoy this.
Happy to do it.
Really? Yeah. As Donnell started to kind of go through, okay, I figured out how we got to this point.
Yeah.
Now here we are. We got this beautiful TV, multimedia system, internet, all this stuff, conferencing in front of us. And he started to go through all the special things that they can do with it.
Yeah.
And you could see how excited and grateful he was.
I can't say thank you enough. You know, with the state of the world that we in, where they can't go to have a real tour. You know, they can use this to Zoom with the representatives in these various schools across the nation, and they can get virtual tours and really good meetings, so we can bring our kids in here to do those meetings with those schools, and actually Zoom our kids in that's from these schools to talk to a group of kids and continue to lead peer-to-peer meetings with these kids.
Very grateful to Lamar introducing us to Frank and Tech5 bringing it in. Man, I was trying so hard not to use this thing first. I was about to say, man, he's just gonna have to walk in on me.
And the kids are gonna love this.
Yeah.
They're gonna love this.
So what do you think would be a cool way to, like, you know, surprise the kids and the mentors with this?
Oh yeah.
I said we just keep going with Paul.
Okay. All right, Paul.
Amidst all of the celebration and excitement and stuff, it was really cool once things started to settle down a little bit. And Donnell explained the story of a day he was at a restaurant in Portland and the show was on, the episode 1, which Elevate was featured on. And he was explaining how he's sitting there eating his lunch and all of a sudden he's on like 10 TVs and people start looking at him and it got kind of strange.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to eat my meal and I'm like, uh-oh. I'm on all these TVs. Next thing you know, people stop eating their lunch and start looking. They're like, I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. And this guy's like, yeah, that's you, man. And then I'm like, and then my guest turns around. She's like, oh my God. And then the waitress, and the cool part about it though is, which was going to be great because the waitress, a young lady, she reached out and emailed me probably a few hours after that, really wanting to know more about who we are and possibly work for us. So, so that it's been, you guys from seeing it, she saw it, and then she just looked us up and emailed me personally to my email address, and so I'm working on really carving out time to meet with the young lady and see what she wants to do. But you guys are changing my life, man. Real time.
And if that's all that comes from this show with each organization or person that's involved, like that is more than enough. That's what we would hope for these people, because these are some really good organizations. The Elevate Oregon leading the way and to attach people with it. That is great stuff.